My Pet Project, and I'm here with Katrina Whedon at the NOAA Center. And Katrina, can you tell me what your position is here?
I am dog care coordinator.
And so what does that do? What do you do?
I help organize dog side volunteers, do trainings if necessary, clean out suites and everything in the mornings, do feedings, medications, and primarily work with, our more scared dogs or anybody that has a behavior requirement. Love everybody.
Love everybody. Bottom line, love everybody.
That's
I love
the most important.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so speaking of love everybody, you have spent a lot of time with these two girls. I'm just amazed. Not surprised, because I know you guys here are so dedicated to your work with all of the animals. But tell us a little bit about these two.
So they're affectionately known as the Yogurt Girls. This is Gogurt, and then the one in the back is Chobani. They are a couple of greyhound mixes, probably some of our most cautious and shy that we've had. And they were strays in Hawaii, which is where they're from. So they've kind of had to learn to be okay with people.
Yeah.
And it's been a long road.
Yeah. So, and about how old are they?
They're about 1.5 years old.
Okay.
We don't know if they're biological sisters for sure, but they very likely could be. And they are very, very bonded to each other.
Yeah, they have very similar body types.
Yeah.
And they're both very, very bouncy.
Yep.
And very fast.
Speedy.
Speedy. Yeah, and it was so much fun to watch as Holly was photographing them. They would be in one spot, and then all of a sudden, there they are in front of the lens, like, oh, hi, and just like 2 bounces. It's amazing.
Hence the leashes.
Yes, yeah, that's why they're on leash right now, so that they'll stay with us. Oh my goodness.
I know.
So you've spent a lot of time. Can you walk us through a little bit what the process has been like to get them to the point where they are able to be in this area with us, and like they're coming up to me and asking for treats?
Yeah.
That's not something they would do.
When they first came, which is exactly 5 months ago, they would only sit in the corner of their suite on the outside patio.
Oh, baby. She's like, I'm gonna back out of that.
Come here. Come here. Come here. It's okay. Come here. Do you want some treats? You want some treats? You can do it. You can do it. Just stay here. But they would only stay on the outside part of their suite. We think because of them being strays, they weren't comfortable with being indoors. And they started to come in. I started sitting with them, every free moment I could, including my lunches. And it took about 2 months before they started, they were excited to see me. They were coming up and greeting me at the door, doing stuff like this.
Oh, she got your mic again.
She loves to do that. I don't care. Greeting me at the door, accepting a lot more attention. So it took 2 months for that. And then it took about another month before they'd let me put leashes on them, because they'd never had leashes on them before. Wow. And then a further month after that before they would go out of the building through our doors instead of out the back. And they would do our trail that we have, and they do their walk, their off-leash time out here. And that's about where we're at right now. So it's been a good, pretty much the whole time they've made steady progress, but it's over a lot of time.
Yeah.
So lots of patience.
And we were talking earlier a little bit about the big thing for them is loud noises.
Yes.
And so just understanding that that's going to mean a lot of triggers, a lot of, and things that you might not think are loud are going to be louder to them.
Yep. The main thing is loud noises. So doors slamming, garbage cans opening and shutting.
Even squeaky toys. We learned that.
Even squeaky toys. They're not really toy motivated or fans of toys, but they just haven't known them yet. And then I forgot to mention too, but really fast movements.
Yes.
They're not comfortable enough with people, except for maybe with me, where you can make a lot of fast movements. They see another dog and they're very excited.
They want to play. Oh
It's
my
okay,
goodness.
baby. Is that another baby? It is another baby. It's okay. I gotcha. It's all right. It's okay.
Here. Nope, the dog is more interesting,
More interesting.
than the crumbs.
I mean, he's a dapper
Yeah.
little fella. Here. It's okay, Chocho.
Oh my goodness.
Chobani likes dogs the most. Of
I
the
love
two.
that. Oh my goodness. So you mentioned they're not really toy motivated, but Chobani,
Chobani
she let you in on a little secret
Yep.
pretty early on.
The first, toy that she played with was she stole a water bottle, a plastic water bottle from a volunteer. And he came to me and he's like, they took my water bottle, I can't get it back, because they're too scared. And I went in and she was playing with it, she punctured it, it was leaking everywhere, but she had a great time. Unfortunately, we can't let her have them that much because she will rip them up and we don't want her to eat them.
Yeah.
But it did let us know that she really likes the more crinkly toys. She likes the ones that seem like garbage, probably because that's what she played with in Hawaii. Or at least what she was comfortable with.
Yeah.
So they still don't really like your classic squeaky toys that much. But stuffed toys they will destroy. So they're learning. Honey, it's okay.
And she has, I've been hearing you call her a couple different names.
Yeah, so her first name is Chobani, but I do call her Chocho or Cho at times. Honey, I know, it's a lot of socialness.
Yeah.
There you go. It's okay.
Oh my goodness. It's okay if you want to let them off.
Okay, I'm gonna let her go.
Yeah.
There you go.
She's like, see ya, bye.
You can go too when you want.
Oh, okay. And then the thing that we are seeing so much with Gogurt is the snuggly.
Yes. Yeah, Gogurt is very, very snuggly. She's very cuddly. She likes to be touching you. And Chobani, in comparison, is very active, very, very playful. I can see her being snuggly too. It's just taking her a little bit longer. But I mean, her primary thing she wants to do is jump and bounce and run. So
All joyful things.
all joyful things.
Oh my goodness. So what do you believe would be the perfect environment for them to be able to be their best selves, to be their snuggly, to be their bouncy joyful?
Yeah, a good environment for them, probably ideally, is gonna have a couple things. It's gonna have a house that hopefully has a fenced yard that attaches to the house, so you can kind of let them out the door when they need to go. And that way you don't have to worry about leashing them up, since it did take them a while to leash up. Because I do think they're gonna revert back to their very scared phase when they go to a home. So there's gonna be a lot of makeup work to do, and hopefully they'll remember the foundation, so it'll be a little easier for their adopters than it was for me. But having a space where they can just go outside when they need to, especially for potty training, because they are not potty trained. They were strays, so it never would have happened for them. So having it in a space that's easily cleanable, they're not going to get in trouble for going where they shouldn't go. They can just go outside as much as possible, so you can try and start that training process when they're still, pretty scared. And hopefully that helps them have an easier transition.
They're just back there sniffing around.
But the primary need is, for the home to, above all, have somebody that's really patient, very loving, and forgiving.
Yeah, and to come into it with the expectation that it's going to be a lot of work.
Yep.
And to be up for it.
Generally assume that it's going to be twice as long as you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
And that way, if it's shorter, that's a great thing. but that way you have realistic expectations. But yeah, once they warm up, they're very loyal, very loving girls. I mean, they jump all over me, they snuggle. Even Chobani, she'll sleep in bed as long as you're sitting next to her.
Oh my God.
So they're gonna make somebody really, really happy.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would have already taken them home if I could.
Yeah.
So they just need someone that's willing to give them the opportunity that they deserve.
Yeah. So, because of their dislike and distrust of loud noises, probably a home without small children. Be good.
Ideally.
Ideally.
They haven't shown, I mean, they haven't met any small children, but they're definitely, because our suites have glass in the front, and when small kids come in, I mean, they're definitely not sure what that is. And because of, you know, how much kids can run around and make louder noises.
They are unpredictable.
They're unpredictable, and for a dog that's scared of adults,
it's the worst.
It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know.
Well, and also it's also terrifying for kids because they don't know. They don't understand.
They don't know. The dog's running away from them, and I'd hate for it to be a situation where the kid runs after the dog and then they're more scared because they feel like they're being chased.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It would probably be best for them to be away and separated from children until they have a good, strong relationship where you can help them cross those fear boundaries.
Yeah.
But it is going to be a while before I would be comfortable with that.
Yeah. But they have met your dog.
They have met my dog.
Okay.
She's a very go-lucky dog, so I was like, we'll just try it. And they really loved her. She loved playing with them. They were known for being in some play groups in Hawaii as well. Chobani is super bossy with other dogs. So like I said, she's the playful one. She gets very jealous if they're playing with Gogurt and not her, or if, heaven forbid, they decide to lay down. That's not acceptable. They have to run with her constantly.
Oh my goodness.
So she will do some kind of the bossy barks and try to get them to interact with her a little bit more. But as long as it's a dog that doesn't mind being told what to do, or is okay with ignoring a kind of bratty teenager, they'll do fine.
Awesome. But maybe also can teach them how to dog a little bit.
Maybe. I don't know how they do with like a really, really active kind of hyper dog that doesn't know its own boundaries. It could help them be a little bit more brave, but it also could really set them back.
Yeah, but maybe one that knows the lay of the land and can show them, okay, this is where we go.
Yep.
Here, this is what, you know, here's how we go through the dog door. We go outside, we sniff stuff.
Yeah, in my experience, you know, dogs that are really more on the scared, cautious side, a mellow, confident dog that knows what it's doing, generally helps the most.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that helps like all of us.
Right? I mean, that's kind of what everybody would like.
Yeah. Or even in people.
Yep.
Give me just a,
it's like,
you know, who's my mellow friend?
Yeah. Who's my mentor?
Yes. Oh, that's what they need, a mentor.
They need a mentor.
Oh, they're bouncing.
Yeah.
They're bouncing. Maybe they're going to bounce their way back here in a little bit.
Eventually.
Oh my goodness. So, Gogurt, before coming here, had some health issues.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
They both did, but Gogurt definitely had the most. She had, it's called pyromitra, but it's where the uterus gets infected, and then she had to have an emergency spay because of it, because it can easily be fatal. And from what I understand, it was pretty severe, so she had a pretty long recovery for that. And also, if you can see, she has a lot of scars, pretty deep scars on her sides. Chobani has some too. And those were infected and inflamed, so they had to be cleaned and stitched up. So they had a really long period in the hospital, in the vet, It looks from their records like their time there was about a month being
Wow.
treated medically. And, that doesn't help their behavior towards people either when, they're first caught, taken to a shelter. Then they have a lot of medical and they don't feel good and they're having to be poked and prodded all the time. So that definitely didn't help, but medically speaking, it helped them so much. They don't have any medical current going on. Everything's healed up really nicely. Yeah, and they're both spayed now and they're up to date on all their shots, which, they weren't happy about, but
Yeah, of course.
it's all good because it's over now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So is there anything else that you think would be really important for a potential adopter to know about either of them or both together?
Just about 2 days ago, they went upstairs for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
So they've gotten there, but like if your home has a lot of stairs in it, or there's a lot of stairs around where you are, they are pretty nervous about them. They just don't really know how they work. And we're working on it, but that has been a very recent development. As far as that goes, the rest goes just having, time to really focus on them and as little other people around as possible at first.
Which is good.
Now that they're comfortable with me, I'm trying to introduce them to friend of a friend, which is why they come up to you now. Because we have some amazing volunteers that'll come in here with me, and we're slowly, did I knock it off again? No. We're slowly getting them more comfortable with at least greeting other people.
Yeah.
They're not quite, I'll lay in your lap,
Yeah.
but it's every little step.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch their progress of warming up to us. And obviously we had some treats, which helps because they're like, ooh,
Yeah.
yay.
Come here. Yeah?
Oh, hello.
Hi,
Oh
you
my
doing
goodness.
good? Did you go around the
I
town?
think it's really interesting to think
Hi,
about
Jojo.
their progress with the stairs, and that because of where they come from, like there are so many things like that, and so a potential adopter just needs to be prepared to have to introduce them to things at their speed.
Yep. The main thing is, pretend they didn't grow up in a world that you're comfortable or aware of, because they just didn't. They don't know anything that, we might think is an everyday thing, like microphones. So, I'm constantly surprised with, I didn't think of that as a thing that they might be worried about.
Yeah.
But, we get there. They also, for greyhounds, they have a shockingly low prey drive so far. There's been some rabbits and stuff that they've come across, and they'll chase a little bit, but lose interest very quickly. And they respond to my corrections. So far, I haven't seen a lot of prey drive from them. It might still be there in a home, but as of right now, it's quite interesting because breed-wise, usually there is a lot more of that.
Right.
But I think they get very distracted with each other and get a lot of that out.
Oh my goodness. They're on the sniff for something right now.
Yes. And then right now they have harnesses on, which they didn't have originally either, but when they first started going on walks, they do the big spins and the alligator rolls and the I want to get away from you. But the harnesses helped with that a lot, and honestly, they barely need them now, except for a bit of running around. Guys are gonna get stuck. Come here.
Oh, that's a good shake.
Come on. You gonna go? Yep.
Chobani's lip keeps getting stuck.
Yeah, it gets stuck on her
It's
teeth
so
a little
cute.
bit.
Oh my gosh.
Especially if she's like, what?
Yep.
What was that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this corner is their favorite because it's got all the trees, so they can go sniffing around. It's most dogs' favorite.
Yeah, so they're like checking their penile.
And there they
Oh my
go.
gosh. So if somebody sees this and thinks that they are the perfect match, or even are wondering if they could be, what do they need to do next?
So you need to come into the NOAA Center. We obviously give you more information, right up front. Pretty much everything I've already said here, but That way you get to hear it firsthand.
Oh, there's a dog.
There's a dog. Very excited now. You might hear Chobani bark. And you know, come in. They'll be able to go and sit with them in the suite. It's called suite sitting.
She's excited.
But they might come up to you, they might not. And we don't advise for you to approach. Just kind of sit there, see what they're comfortable with.
Oh my gosh, that was a big leap.
That was huge. Because they need a bit of time, obviously.
Yeah.
And you know, regardless of how that goes, like if they come up to you, if they don't, Chobani, don't do that. Come on. There we go.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
They come up to you if they don't.
Coming in hot.
We are asking if people can come and visit them a couple of times at least before wanting to fully take them home. Because they are gonna do best with someone that they can trust and that they at least know a little bit. Obviously, I don't want them to sit here for 5 more months while they get as comfortable as they are with me with someone. But at least semi-regular visits over a couple of weeks.
So it's kind of like dating.
Kind of like dating.
Yep.
It's a little bit like, not so much speed dating, but you know, a little bit of a blind date for them.
Yeah.
And they are bonded, so they do have to go home together.
Yes.
They've had each other for likely most of their life. So honestly, if they didn't have each other, it probably would have taken twice as long because they really lean on each other for support. Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much what our setup with them is right now. If you came and visited them for a couple of times, at that point, I might bring them out so you can see them, you know, when they're outside. I just don't do that at first because it's not an accurate representation of how they're gonna be when they go home. Because they're like this with me now, but it's gonna be a really long time before they are with their new owners. So we are trying to keep it, you know, this is what they're gonna look
realistic,
like.
right? Yeah, because you don't want them to go somewhere and then it not work out at all and then come back and
honestly them getting adopted and then it not going well and they have to be returned would probably be really damaging for them because it would break that trust that's being built. So ideally we'd like to avoid that.
Oh gosh. She grabbed
Chobani. That's why they're not allowed to wear leashes in here
because
usually.
She will grab it.
She will pull it. And like I said, she gets jealous. So if Gogurt's not playing, she'll make her play. So I had to take their leashes off.
She was sitting back there a couple minutes ago kind of pouting like,
she was waiting.
I'm all by myself.
No, she's so bossy. She's so bossy to you.
So if someone has a dog, how would that, at what point would they need to do the introduction?
After a couple of times of visiting them, I would bring them out on a leash and we'd do an introduction that way.
Okay.
It would probably have to be a more scheduled thing to make sure that I was here to do it and that it was a time that could be done. Because they definitely would need to meet the other dog. But it'd have to be a little bit different than how we'd normally do things just because of them.
Right.
But yeah, pretty much we don't want to overly stress them out, so we're trying to take appointments, you know, as at their pace as we can. Right. So far, no one has come back a second time to see them again, but hopefully.
They're just so joyful when they're just comfortable and playing. And
when they're being a dog, they are just exuberant.
Yes.
Because they, I mean, likely never have been able to before.
Yeah.
So
because they were in survival mode all the time.
Seeing them, you know, run and accept touches like this is the most rewarding thing. Yeah? And they were sitting?
Oh my goodness.
You waiting for her?
Let's hope that their future person sees this.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I feel like they'll know. They'll know. Because I can just imagine being that person that is ready for a long a journey.
Yep, long journey, but long time reward.
Yes. Yes.
Especially somebody that maybe has worked with shy dogs before.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, honestly, it is the most rewarding thing you might ever be able to do.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's a commitment, but usually with a big commitment, there's a big reward at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And good grief.
Oh, she looks like she's like, I'm gonna get her.
She's yeah, there we go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. The
That's
good thing
so
about
good.
them being bonded, they get a lot of their energy out on their own.
Yeah.
So that one thing is a bit easier.
Yeah. Oh, she's doing like a little tuck. There she goes. Round and round and round. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
This is pure joy.
Oh, she's hiding.
She's like, enough of this talking. Let's play. Oh my goodness. Well, on that note, Katrina, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Absolutely.
And thank you for your work that you've done with them and that you do with all the animals.
And thank you for you guys and for coming out here for them. And, you know, we just need that one person to see it.
One person.
And want to commit to them.
I love
'Cause
it.
they'll make you laugh every day.
Yeah. Oh man. And we need that. We all need to laugh
In
way
this
more.
day and age,
Yes.
we need it
much more.
every day.
Every day. Laughter every day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is Marika with the Limelight Pet Project, and we shine the light on harder to adopt pets because their stories are worth telling. Yay!